Hello, brothers and sisters. Thank you very much to those holding patronage to my postings. I love you all. I've worked very hard as an individual on food information, its relation to the human body, medical studies, and more. And I'm not saying that because I have any ego about it. I'm saying it because it's important information to this video. I appreciate all of the knowledge that I absorbed, even from the professionals that may think I'm attacking them. I'm really not. I'm trying to help them. Ultimately, the goal at the end of the day is healthy children. And if you feel any other way, I cannot agree with your perspective. There's some things I need to say before this video is over. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep my energy together. But I'm still going to try to, maturely. If I can't, I hope it's just understood as my passion. Thank you for appreciating that. I myself live completely food addiction free because I myself put in the strenuous effort of removing all food addictions from my body and living free of them for several years while maintaining all the other true health discoveries that I was discovering along the way, minus all food addictions. And I need to talk to you today about food addictions in a way that I completely know that you will intuitionally and intelligently understand what I'm saying. I just don't know if you're going to be able to accept it to a degree that you will actually do something about it. But there's no doubt in my mind that you're intelligent enough to absorb what I'm saying. Thank you for your interest in my perspective on this topic. It's my understanding it could be very significant. Food addiction, finance, honesty. Another thing I'm about to answer by telling you this. It's very common for me to get a question about how expensive it is to eat properly. And I'm really on fire telling you, I am so sick and tired of the money excuse. Few have less money than me. I shop in my local grocery store. It goes back to the health understandings that nobody around me can accept because I'm that guy seizuring on the floor that they're about to set on fire. And I know that. And I hope you could take this seriously. When I was removing the food addiction from my body, it felt exactly like removing any other addiction that I've removed. For example, cigarettes. I didn't smoke cigarettes for a really long time. But I still remember the feeling of removing the addiction and was able to relate it to other addictions that I shook. It's exactly the same as removing all of my food addictions. I don't have salt and pepper shakers. I don't add it to anything. I don't add sugar to anything. Sometimes I use honey for a sweetener. My palate is corrected to nature and a more proper expectation for fulfillment in reference to sweetness in my palate. So my tolerance for a lot of things that people just consume every day is way lower. But I don't think my degree is reasonable But I don't think your degree is reasonable either. I have a lot of really solid points to make about this. And I would like to remind you that your energy is your own responsibility, and your honesty to your own health is crucial to the degree of your own health. Lying to yourself about your own degree of physical health prevents you from taking care of it and breaks down your mental health by lying to yourself. So you really need to take it seriously. This is the understanding that I feel is not understood about the sugar addiction specifically. But I do have reason to believe very similar things are happening with the caffeine addiction, but not to the same degree. Not as much with salt. It works in a different way. Regardless what anybody thinks of it, including me, our bodies have expectations from nature. And this is how that food addiction works. Your body is telling you that it's hungry. That means it's looking for nature's expectations. If you know the difference or not on the outside of your body because you didn't learn it, that doesn't really matter to your digestive system. It still needs what it needs. So it's up to us to understand that, to have healthy digestive systems. If our digestive systems are not healthy, well, they're not properly transferring any of the vitamins and minerals that we need to create our own enzymes. So that's what we're aiming for. So your body is telling you, I need food. And you don't really know the difference. And you put a pile of garbage in. Sugar or not, but sugar makes it worse. It's going to take your body roughly 2 hours to realize that you just dumped a bunch of garbage in there. Ever notice how, like, when you're done eating McDonald's, like 2 hours later, you're hungry? Or you go to Burger King and like 2 hours later, you're taking a shit? It takes your body about 2 hours to figure out that you didn't give it anything that it wants. You didn't give it anything but garbage. And then you feel hungry again. So you eat again. And if you give your body none of the things that it needs again, because you don't know the difference, well, maybe 3 hours later, you eat again. And if you're not conscious to it, you're eating and eating and eating. And here's something that I know you're not considering. When your consumption, it doesn't have to be perfect, but when your consumption honors nature's law, you stay full longer on less food, which also means you save a shitload of money on extra food you don't have to eat. I buy the same things all the time. It's not expensive. It just honors nature's rules for my body. It's not expensive. But I only need to eat 3 times a day because I eat high quality meals and I'm aiming at maintaining this degree of health because I feel like I don't even have to sleep. And when I come offline, well, I could spend that time doing whatever I want. I'm not going to start sleeping more. This is just how I live because I take pristine care of my health. And studied it. And now I'm trying to help children obtain this health understanding I'm working towards to help them, free them of developing the same food addictions. Now with sugar, it's very much so like that. But what you may not consider is it could be a drink now, a piece of cake later, a bar later, and then another drink, and it's all the same sugar addiction that's making you feel hungry too often. And by overeating, you're buying more groceries and killing your health. Where if you just honor nature's law, you could buy less food at higher quality, spend less time in the kitchen than you think, because you don't need to cook and make all the stuff 5-6 times a day. It's very logical. And in order to get rid of your sugar addiction, you need to remove it. And that's where I felt like setting the times of when to eat and sticking to it was very helpful, because I knew sometimes in between I was going to be hungry and I made myself wait. And that was when I was feeling those urges, and when I would take it out on, like when I said I was at work and I was taking it on the pizza dough, that was like in that last hour and a half, right? Then I would really get that, almost like when you really need a cigarette and you really need it. And then you're at that point. Well, I was at that point and I'd make myself wait maybe another 2 hours or an hour and a half. And that was enough to kind of just start pushing that addiction out. And that was what allowed me to identify it as the addiction that it was. And respectfully, the hanger thing, I had a serious case of hanger, and it was a serious case where it like affected people around me, where when I got hungry, you couldn't live with me. And I know that, and I feel bad what I put people through. However, respectfully, since I gave up meat and corrected a lot of those things, well, when I do get hungry, I don't panic, because I'm actually hungry and can be logical about it, where before I was panicking because I wasn't actually hungry. I was addicted, and I'm not anymore. And now I'm starting to get emotional. And I have to say something. I don't know how I'm going to do with this. But as someone that has studied this to the degree I have and knows what I know about it, I'm only trying to get the information out to help children all around the world be healthier. And I don't care what your mother tongue is. I've made that very clear. And I am speaking for peace and love. And anybody that feels otherwise is just incorrect in their perception of everything that I am. Respectfully. I, for the record, do not agree with compulsively or consciously destroying our children's health for any currency known as of now or any currency to come. If you think that it's okay to ignore true health information and consciously damage our children's health for the sake of any currency, I strongly do not agree with your fucking perspective. Our children's health is not a fucking financial gain in that way. And if we have significant health information that can help the children be healthier, logically and reasonably, with proper intent, it needs to be taken seriously. And I'm telling you very fucking directly, the FDA does not want me on their case. But I have a lot of problems with the FDA and their bullshit products. We're in the middle of a pandemic. We're fucking over our finances because we're not fucking clear. Before COVID, during COVID, no talk about getting healthy. And this is very fucking serious to me because I know human health. Majorly, those types of outbursts make me kind of embarrassed. I'm very passionate about it. I'm under a lot of pressure here, losing everything I have under the given circumstances. I appreciate your maturity about it. The rest of the health information is coming soon, along with some other big things I feel they need to express at this time while I have my studio. I'm working for the children. That's who I work for. I don't work for the adults that can't admit it. I work for the children that can prevent it. 此刻感谢上帝，我必须去。再次感谢你对我异乡的工作感兴趣，我爱你们。Peace and love to all of God's children, regardless of status, age, gender, or mother tongue. Thank God again. Bye for now.